Imagine a movie bombing because of 3 bloody D. Let's get into it. So, actually, one of my favourite films ever made is this film, Dredd. And it bombed when it came out. And I actually remember at the time deciding not to go to watch this film at the cinema because I could only see it in 3D. And this was coming out at a time when Avatar had been released, so every film was being released in 3 bloody D. And then there was a huge push by the studios to make films 3D, to actually kind of force them to be made 3D, even though they weren't filmed to be made in 3D, if that makes any sense. So basically, there were films that had been filmed specifically with the idea of it being released in 3D, like Avatar, like The Life of Pi, that was another one. These films actually were all right in 3D. You could go and watch them, they would work. And then there were other films that were kind of retrofitted in order to be shown in 3D at the cinema. Dredd was one of these movies. It was never intended to be made as a 3D film. The director, Alex Garland, actually talked about this and said that the studio was so desperate for this film to be released in 3D because it was the trend at the time that they wouldn't send it to any of the cinemas in its normal 2D version. So basically, the film at the time was called Dredd 3D. People just didn't want to see it. People weren't really interested in 3D movies that weren't Avatar. It happened a lot, and in the end, a lot of films ended up flopping at the box office, and Dredd was one of those movies. And it's such a shame because Dredd is a fantastic film with an incredible central performance in it by Carl Urban. And now they're remaking another Dredd with Taika Waititi, and I don't think Carl Urban's involved, and that's very, very sad. Fingers crossed Taika Waititi does a good job because there is a good director there. He's made good films in the past. His latest films have not been particularly good, let's be honest. So let's hope that this one actually gets made, because a lot of his films, the ones that were announced, also have never seen the light of day. I'm talking specifically about his Star Wars film and his Akira movie. So let's hope this film does get made and is good. But if it doesn't, and if it isn't, then you can always go and watch Dredd, not the 3D version, just the normal version.